Okay, in today's Mechanics 101, we're going to be going over taking angles and using props as well to cover yourself from other angles. So I figured Inferno would be a pretty good example. We'll go over a few common angles and we'll go from there. So first and foremost, the most basic thing is making sure that you're taking the angle as far away from the angle as possible, as far away from the corner as possible. So the corner is right there, and so you want to be as far away from it as possible. This is obviously an op angle because if I have a rifle, I can't shoot that fast. Like, nobody's reaction time is fast enough, just one time. So rifle angle would be more like that, but it's not too good of an angle for rifle. It's not as good. A better rifle angle would be in cubby, like that. But if you see, I'm backed up all the way here, and that's to give yourself more of an advantage. If you're right up against the wall, they're gonna see you way before you see them because your shoulder actually sticks out pretty far, like right there. And so they can peek back here, and then they see you very easily. And you don't always necessarily see them. So you want to be taking it as far back as possible. So you take your shot, you move back to this angle, far back as possible, shoot, move back as far as you can to this angle, shoot. And if they're pushing towards CT, that angle, or even this angle is probably better. It's a little more difficult of a shot to hit, but you can aim like into the pillar if you want. And you can fall back even further if they're pushing this area, or if they're pushing that area. So that's pretty much the thing right there. That's the most important thing, is making sure you're taking the angle as far away from it as possible. We can go over an example on B real quick. You often don't want to be peeking the wall like that unless you're holding it statically. You want to be peeking it. If you want to peek not at the car, peek here. If you want to peek behind the car, there. This angle is more important. You don't want to be holding the angle like this. You want to be holding it back here. I mean, we can just sort of see. You can't see anything right there. And then we'll just move straight back, and now you can see a hell of a lot more. So that's pretty much their view. Like, this is your view, and that's how much of them, or that's how much of you they'll see. So another thing, real quick, is trying to use props to eliminate angles. So let's say you have a rifle, and let's go over to A site. So we'll do an A site example and a B site example again. So A site, let's say like moto. If we're held all the way back here, we can see arch, and we can't be shot from lane or balk. So this is a good angle. This is not too good of an angle. You can shot from lane and arch, and you can't see them both at the same time if your crosshair's on one of them. So you want to take an angle like that, like that. If they have sight control, obviously that's better. If they don't, then you don't need to block off the vision on the sight, and you can get a better angle over there. So let's say they're not coming arch, you know that, so you can be exposed to arch, or you don't have to look at it. So you can hold this angle. If you hold it back, you can hold it all the way back here if you want, but you can also hold it up here if you have a rifle, because you're using this wall to block off this area, the lane, so the people in lane can't see you until you cross over there. Then you can do the same. You're blocking off the balcony with this box, so you can hold lane. You do this on site as well. You're using this box, or you're using this pillar to block off balcony, so you can see when they push up lane. And then over here, you're using the box again to block off lane. If you hold an angle like this, you're using the box to hold off balcony. Then you can turn around. And now if you know they're coming only arch, they're using the box to block off arch. So that's the A side example. So you really don't want to be maneuvering around boxes and conscious of where they're coming from and where you can die from. So let's go over fountain. Let's say CTs are retaking B, so that's smoked, and then we'll say that's smoked too. So really the only thing you have to be watching is banana. So you can be holding it from this angle, because they're probably not going to run through that smoke. Because there's probably somebody else holding it like that or something. So once that CT smoke fades, then you have to swing around over here to make sure that the CT is being blocked by the fountain. Once that smoke fades, you can swing around here and hold CT if you want to toss like a smoke right there. This is not a very good angle to hold CT, I would say, but it demonstrates the point. Same thing over here. If we have coffin smoked, you can hold an angle like this, but if you don't, you can hold an angle more like that, or even back here maybe. Back here is less good of a spot because you can't duck behind cover, which leads us into our next concept, which is on angles versus off angles. So an on angle is pretty much where two pathings meet. So there's a terrorist path which runs up banana and then runs through here, runs through here. There's a CT path to take banana which goes over here, then runs down here. So all the on angles are where those paths meet. So the paths meet specifically right there, obviously at the broken wall or at the half wall, and they'll meet again at CT spawn, because like the pathing goes like that for the CTs, or like that, and the terrace pathing goes like that, so they meet up again. So those are called on angles, and off angles are wherever the pathings don't meet. So for example, like here is an off angle, and there's always an off angle next to an on angle. So the on angle is here, the off angle is here. Off angles, you're not going to have much cover most of the time, but nobody's going to pre-aim you. Like you pre-aim this, you don't pre-aim that. So that's the advantage of off angles versus on angles. Making sure you keep in mind where the on angles are, where the off angles are, when you should play on angles, when you should play off angles. Most of the time we play on angles when there could be multiple people coming, because on angles you can just fall back. Let's see, if you have like an op, get a kill, fall back. If it's like a 1v1, then you could play an off angle, so you get the kill and then you don't have to worry about falling back. Show some examples on the A site now. So this angle is an on angle because the pathings meet. This path meets with the CT path, and the terrace path meet at this angle. But the off angle version would be in the middle. You don't want to be here though, it's a really bad spot. But again, the on angle is right there. There's a better example over here. So the on angle is here. The off angle could be like here. Although libraries are behind you, so you don't have to worry about that. But moreover, this is an off angle. Because when you think about it, terrace are here, looking here. Look library. And when they peek library, they have to peek there. Because you're farther away from the angle, you can see that. So if you see like their shoulder, you could swing out further, get the kill. So if you're committing, if you know a bunch of enemies are going this way, and you are just like stuck here, you can commit to the off angle, and you can swing and try to get as many kills as possible. You probably should be getting at least one, ideally two. And so that's pretty much it about on angles versus off angles, and it's about it about taking angles as well.